I didn't really know what to talk about for Team Devo, and when Amy asked me, I was like, let me get back with you, and then I never did, and I felt really bad. And then during the ladies' night, I was like, I actually have something. She's like, good, because I put you down. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started writing it as she was talking, because it kind of inspired me. It had like the words putting ourselves aside. And so I kind of was thinking about it because she was explaining that like she was trying to find hotel after hotel, and then she was realizing like the ladies, like the clerks, they were going through a lot as well. And so, not saying that this is like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes as much as like we have our own issues, sometimes we need to take a step back and be like, our situation is going to be fine. Like we also need to help out as well. Like they have a lot going on as well. And so I feel like we tend to get caught up with ourselves and our situations, and we need to let go of that and really just like, God will work it out. It's going to be fine. I have 1 Peter 5:6-7. If you bow low in God's awesome presence, he will eventually exalt you as you leave the timing in his hands. Pour out all your worries and stress upon him and leave them there, for he will always tenderly care for you. Which, on like Sundays, I feel like this is also super important because a lot of the time I'm guilty of this. I'm like, what am I going to eat for lunch? Like, I'm hungry, and like, how's Monday going to go? How's work going to go? Like, I don't want to go to work. So it's like the thoughts are rushing, and I'm not being present. And then it gets you distracted, and then you can't actually press in as much as you could have in the beginning. Yeah. And also, I've also realized this, being in youth, that we have more influence on people as well. So like if you're showing that you're pressing in and you're also showing that like, wow, you're really thriving with God, and like if you get called to the altar and you want to go up for prayer but you don't, that could have been a missed opportunity for somebody else to have that same impact, being like, oh, they do it, so like I can do it too. Because that is something like a lot of time people don't have the courage to do it because they feel like they're going to get judged. Like we're always in our heads about stuff like that. So I think it's also important that like they're also in their head too. Like you're in your head, but you just got to do it because that could have been something so awesome. And yeah, so it could be a missed opportunity for not only for yourself, but also for the impact of other people. 1 John 2:16-17, for all that the world can offer us, the gratification of our flesh, the allurement of the things of the world, and the obsession of status and importance, none of these things come from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires are in the process of passing away, but those who love to do the will of God live forever. So when we let go of our own desires and we focus on God's will, we can find that true fulfillment. And it's easy to get distracted by the things of this world, which, yeah, it's like I was saying, like you're distracted about like how your week going to go, or like how are we going to do this? And like your mind kind of just has these thoughts going. But really it's just, especially on Sundays, like when we're here, you got to prioritize God in that moment. And like it's going to work out. And we can only, by prioritizing our relationship with God, we can not only find that peace and the purpose, but also we can become the light around us for others as well. And sometimes we can get so caught up in our lives, whether it's the current situation or what your next steps are in today, but we can take that time right now to be in the presence of God. So I feel like the question I kind of want to leave with you guys today is like, what areas of our lives are we holding on to that we can release to him, and how can we be more intentional with our faith today, with the idea of knowing that it can also influence others as well.